What's going on, guys? It's Chipmunk Master Boy, and I am making my second Black Ops commentary now. Here we are playing Hijacked. It's a team deathmatch, and I did do fairly well on it. It was alright. It's actually I think, my first time playing on this map in terms of multiplayer, and I'm using, I keep swapping my weapons because I really didn't. I was kind of experimenting at this time because I'm fairly new at this game. Level whatever, like level 6 or something, or level 8, and I'm just getting a hang of the controls, etc., etc. But this video's focus is actually something pretty funny, or I don't know how you'd like to think about it, funny, unique, but, as a kid, I'm still pretty much a kid, I'm a teenager, but as a kid, I lived in Africa, so this video addresses not only my friends at school who watch my videos, but also the YouTube community in general, and probably the world. Now, as a kid, I lived in Africa, so all over the Africa. When I say that, like, I've lived in South Africa, I've lived Southern Africa, I've lived in Eastern Africa, just not North and West, because those places are a little bit dangerous. But people tend to think that if you're from Africa, the first question I get is, "Hey bro, did you live in a hut?" I'm like, dude, no, I did not live in a hut. People tend to forget that in Africa, it's mostly third world, but it's kind of the situation like rich getting richer and poor getting poorer. Now, I was definitely not poor, but I was living like a good life there, going to like international schools, like, they have all sorts of people, like for example, like one of my classmates was actually, the daughter of the like health minister of like some country. I'm not gonna name the country, but I mean, it was a unique experience, and I really did love Africa. I have actually been to like, slums and all sorts of places with poverty, and I've seen, in real life how this is, and it's kind of sad that, the world is the way it is, but I don't want to make this too depressing, but so, my friends really, every time I do something that's related to a stereotype of a black person, they immediately, point at me, like, for example, I'm good at running, or, I sprint a lot, and, just these things that usually, apparently in society, which black people are good at, they look at me and I'm like, I'm playing football, and I'm not really deezed or anything, so I just sprint around and run around, and immediately, I run, because that's my only good strength, and people always go up to me and it's like, "Hey man, that was good, you're going all Kenyan mode on me," because I lived in Kenya for about 8 years, I lived in Africa for about 10 years, so yeah, I did spend pretty much my whole childhood there. And I loved it, getting back to the whole football thing, I'm like, guys, running has nothing to do with it. But, it's just pretty funny that how North Americans view other parts of the world, and how their views are skewed and controlled by media. It's pretty funny to actually think about. For example, how Sarah Palin was like, "Oh, Africa is a country." I'm like, oh my god, really? Guys, Africa isn't a country for all you misguided people. Africa is a continent. There's a lot of countries in Africa that are independent from each other. Just thought I'd let you guys know. So now, going back to this, in Kenya, I really love the place. The people are so friendly. I mean, the only reason the crime rates are high is because, there's just too much poverty, and there's rich getting richer and poor getting poorer, and, at one point, the poor are going to snap and say, "Whoa, this is not good," and it leads to bad things like crime, stealing, and all of that, and that's caused because of, basically, North Americans. I'm a North American, so yeah, it's basically because of us. So, you can't really blame them for what's going on. I mean, you'd probably do the same thing, but I really loved my life there. I made a lot of friends there. I used to play soccer a lot, and I mean soccer in the sense, I've played soccer like nobody's business. Like, I used to go every day, soccer, bike, that's all I did, and swim at like 5 a.m. and freezing cold outside in the water, and it used to be a lot of fun. I mean, I used to actually have a friend, his name was Kevin, and he used to be, like, I had a maid and everything, and he used to be in the maid quarters, and he used to live there right below my house. So I used to go up to him, and I used to go to his house too. It was only about a bedroom. Like it was maybe about like 20 feet across and like 6 feet or like 10 feet wide, and that's where they lived. I mean, I went to his house and I used to play with him, and we were basically like best friends. And I really liked the kid, and I was really sad when I left, but it was just a really good experience. I've also been to like safaris. Like people, like I live in Canada. In Toronto, we have something known as the African Lion Safari. It's basically where people go and see animals, and it's technically called a safari, but that's all bullshit. I lived in Kenya, so over there we have something called the Masai Mara, and basically it's a forest and there's animals. So animals kill each other, and it's basically where they film all this National Geographic, most of the stuff, all these documentaries. And I've been there, and I mean, something you got to see in real life. I really enjoyed it there. I kind of miss Africa. It's very hot and nice. It's right on the equator, so I was kind of sad when I left, but definitely Canada, North America, quality of life is better. So that was kind of like a bit of insight on my life in Africa. You'll get more stories coming, and if you like this, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Spread this video, share it, favorite it, whatever you want. You can also hit me up on PSN if you want to run a quick match of Black Ops 2 at Krishna1. I'll have that at the bottom over there. And no, that's not my name. Have a good day, guys. See ya.